And Isaac texted me and he says, have you ever been to Arizona? And I was like, this is really weird. I just decided to come here. And I said, I'm not going to meet him unless God throws it in my face. So we start talking, and I was like, I'm not going to go there. Then he told me he has my same birthday. So I was like, okay, I have to go meet him because I told God that's what I would do. So I go meet him, and we have the same birthday. Our brothers are both named Jacob and David. Our fathers are both Egyptian Jews from Cairo. We're both vegetarians. Then I find out he does stuff for the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea has 33% salt in it. Walt Disney's club is called Club 33. The reason they're called this is because the location of Atlantis is inside the earth. The coordinates are 3333. It's the soul of the earth.
Jackie, can I get you to respond to some of the charges against you?
Oh.
Did you break into his home?
I'd rather not talk about those things.
Dear, I fear we're facing a problem. You love me no longer, I know, and maybe there is nothing that I can do to make you do. Mama tells me I shouldn't bother, that I ought to stick to another man, a man that truly deserves me. But I think you do. So I cried and I prayed and I begged, love me, say that you love me, fool me, go on and fool me, love me, pretend that you love me, leave me, just say that you need me. So I cried.
Jacqueline Ades was born on December 31st, 1986, and by all accounts, was raised in a loving home in an exclusive area of Florida. According to a statement from her father, a retired insurance executive, she was accustomed to the niceties of life and dated men with similar backgrounds. Despite this, she had become estranged from her parents, who tried to contact her often but with little luck. Jacqueline moved on from Coral Springs and became consumed with finding a partner. She was a prolific poster of selfies and quotes on social media. Here's a typical example of a statement she would post. In an effort to connect with like-minded people and perhaps find her healing angel, she created an account on the dating app Luxy, which is promoted as a mature, upscale dating app where users can find rich, successful, and attractive millionaires. This is where she met the object of her affection, Itzhak Ben Shabbat, CEO and founder of Secret skincare products.
It all started when my family immigrated from Israel, and it was an accident. It wasn't even planned. My brother is an ice cream truck driver. He's not coming back home. The future of the family, the future doctor of the family, is working on an ice cream truck.
Jacqueline and Mr. Ben Shabbat made enough of an impression online to arrange for a date sometime in January 2017. While the date apparently went well for Jacqueline, Mr. Ben Shabbat decided there would not be a second date. She sent him several text messages after the date, but as he did not respond, she simply continued to send them. According to court records, she sent as many as 500 text messages every day, all of which were allegedly ignored by Mr. Ben Shabbat. That is, until a full 6 months later, in July 2017, when he called police to state that he could see Jacqueline in a vehicle parked outside his home. He also told police about the many text messages she sent despite him saying he no longer wanted to talk to her. When officers arrived on the scene, Jacqueline was still there, and they instructed her to leave. No charges were brought, however. According to Mr. Ben-Shabbat, this is when the behavior escalated. 5 months later, in December 2017, police received a call that Jacqueline was once again in the area, but this time they were unable to locate her and no further action was taken. On Sunday, April 8, 2018, Mr. Ben-Shabbat called police for a third time, this time from outside the country, claiming that he checked his home video surveillance and saw Jacqueline inside his house unlawfully. According to a police report, when officers arrived at the home, Jacqueline was taking a bath, and a large butcher's knife was found on the passenger seat of her car. She was arrested for criminal trespass in the first degree, jailed, and then placed on felony release after the initial hearing. A quick word about initial hearings in felony cases. In the U.S. criminal justice system, the first hearing after a felony arrest usually takes place before a U.S. magistrate, usually the same day the defendant is arrested. Witnesses are not needed for testimony at this hearing. The hearing has 3 purposes. First, the defendant is told his or her rights and the charges are explained. Second, if determined to be indigent, the defendant is assisted in making arrangements for legal representation. This is usually done by providing the defendant with the number to the local public defender's office. Third, the court decides if it is safe to release the defendant back into the community on bail. Many defendants charged with a felony are released at the end of this hearing. Either they have posted bail money to guarantee their return for trial and other hearings, or they have been released on their own recognizance with certain conditions. Such conditions may include mandatory presence at future hearings and the requirement that they not personally contact the victim or any witnesses in the case. In some cases, the defendant will instead continue to be held in custody without bail. In Jacqueline Ades' case, she was placed on felony release, but failed to appear for later court dates. On Tuesday, April 24, 2018, a bench warrant was issued for her arrest on the April 8th trespass charge as she failed to appear for subsequent court hearings. On Monday, April 30th, court records indicate Mr. Ben-Shabbat called Detective Marshall to report receiving multiple threatening text messages from her. He also explained that Jacqueline had now allegedly sent about 159,000 text messages to the man's phone over a 10-month period. He claimed many of the messages were threatening, including death threats. Detectives were sent screenshots of the text messages received between 4:16 and 4:28. Police took down this information and filed a complaint. On Friday, May the 4th, police were called to a business in Scottsdale, Arizona after passersby reported seeing Jacqueline acting irrationally and claiming to be the owner's wife, police said. The owner of the business is Mr. Ben-Shabbat. Scottsdale police showed up and trespassed her from the property. On May the 7th, Mr. Ben-Shabbat called Detective Marshall to inform him of the Friday incident at his workplace, and the warrant for her arrest was expedited. On the following day, Tuesday, May 8th, Jacqueline was apprehended and arrested on charges of threatening, stalking, and harassment. She was Mirandized and questioned by police. With no lawyer present, she went on to give a series of self-incriminating statements. She explained that she sent Mr. Ben-Shabbat text messages all day, but he never responded, court documents said. She said that she threatened him because she didn't want him to leave and because she loved him, court paperwork said. She was being held in custody at the Maricopa County's Estrella jail without bail. 2 days later, on Thursday, May the 10th, a jailhouse interview with the media was granted at her own request, even though she had not yet been evaluated by a mental health professional, had likely been assigned a public defender with which she could consult, and the mental illness box on her intake form had clearly been checked off. What ensues is a media interview of a mentally ill woman who may have been placed at an extreme disadvantage legally.
Let's see. Maybe the handcuff. Can you reach down? Reach for that cuff down there. You said it's on the handcuffs right there.
We're just gonna move this forward so that the microphones can hear, okay?
I'm gonna be on Fox News.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Jackie. Okay. You wanna ask me questions?
Yeah, we'll probably.
All right, go ahead.
Why don't you start from the beginning? How did you wind up here?
I wound up here on a road trip from Florida, looking for, I guess, love. And I was following the number 33. I used to wake up every day and every night at 3:33. It was always 3:33, 3333. So I kept following the number, and I said, why am I following the number 33? And I spoke to a psychic, and she told me I have the same birth chart as Jesus. So then I said, okay. I look up Jesus. He was 33 when he came to be. So I was like, that's a 33. My left eye axis is 33. The location I came from in Miami was 33111, the zip code. This zip code here, not the coordinates on the map, it's 33111.
Jacqueline, how did you come to meet the man who is related to your case?
Oh, Isaac Ben Shabbat. I met him online. I was looking for my healing angel. The psychic I met told me I would meet a healing angel. So I was in Utah, Mount Zion, looking for my healing angel. And I was at a bar, and I was talking to the bartender about the number 3, and I said, so the number 3, I told him the story, how I got here, just because I got here, the number 3. And then he said, not to say anything, but look behind me. And I looked behind him, and there's the giant number 3. So I was like, are you my healing angel? And he was like, no, I'm not. And then I said, okay, well, maybe you're going to lead me to my healing angel. So he said, you should probably go to Sedona. It's in Arizona. I said, I never heard of it. And I look up Sedona, Arizona. It's the 33rd most spiritual place. So I canceled my trip. I canceled my trip in Mount Zion, and I decided to go to Arizona. I'd never been here. And Isaac texted me, and he says, have you ever been to Arizona? And I was like, this is really weird. I just decided to come here. And I said, I'm not going to meet him unless God throws it in my face. So we start talking, and I was like, I'm not going to go there. Then he told me he has my same birthday. So I was like, okay, I have to go meet him because I told God that's what I would do. So I go meet him, and we have the same birthday. Our brothers are both named Jacob and David. Our fathers are both Egyptian Jews from Cairo. We're both vegetarians. Then I find out he does stuff for the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea has 33% salt in it. Walt Disney's club is called Club 33. The reason they're called this is because the location of Atlantis is inside the earth. The coordinates are 3333. It's the soul of the earth.
Jackie, can I get you to respond to some of the charges against you?
Oh.
Did you break into his home?
I'd rather not talk about those things.
What about the text messages?
I'd rather not talk about those.
You said you met him online.
Yeah.
What site did you meet him on?
Luxie.
What kind of site is that?
Oh, like the most shallow one ever, where the rich men meet the pretty girls.
And what, you know, I know you don't want to talk about the texts, but in some of them you said some pretty crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to just respond to that part of it?
Not right now.
Why did you text him 65,000 times?
Because it made me find out all my information. Loving him selflessly brought this information because everybody just wants to take. But if you just give and you don't stop giving, even if you don't receive, you all of a sudden receive a lot.
Did he tell you to stop contacting him?
I don't want to talk about that.
Did you listen to that?
I don't want to talk about that.
You said, did you go on one date with him?
3.
3 days. Can you talk about how you felt when you were with him? Did you feel a spark immediately? Talk about how you felt.
I felt like I met my soulmate and everything was just the way it was. And I thought we would just do what everybody else did and we would just like get married and everything would be fine, but that's not what happened.
65,000 text messages. That's like
That's
next
it?
level stuff.
No, to me it seemed like more.
Seemed like more than
To
65,000?
me, yeah, that's
Isn't
not.
that kind of excessive?
Love is an excessive thing.
Can you understand why people think this is a little bit out there? Crazy?
Oh yeah.
Are you a crazy person?
No.
Tell us, who are you? Like, what do you want?
I'm the person that discovered love, the equation to light. Einstein discovered the equation to light. It's E equals mc squared. To finish that equation, everything we see is made out of light. Everything. And the composition of the light that it's made out of.
Jackie, some of those messages don't sound like love, they sound like threats.
When you're finding love, not everything is perfect. This was a journey. And I want to apologize because nobody would ever be more sorry.
Would you have really hurt him?
No. No. I love him. So the rest of the equation is L equals 3.3. L equals 3.3 times E equals mc squared. And that's the equation of eternal love.
Did he love you?
It means one boy thing plus one girl thing. The boy is the light. The light makes the love work really hard. The love, we're as women supposed to worship the men, and they're supposed to lead us in where we're supposed to go. But instead, we all believe in the number 0. The number 0 is a belief system that the Illuminati created to create the undertaking of all humankind.
Jackie, why do you think it was important to speak to us today?
Because I have to share
Share what?
the message of love.
What's your message of love?
Everybody has to love each other.
What do you want the victim, if the victim's watching, what do you want him to know right now?
Victim, he's not a victim.
Okay, the person that,
That I love.
yes.
What I want him to know, that I love him.
Are you going to leave him alone?
If he wants me to.
Has he asked you to leave him alone?
I don't want to talk about those things.
Why did you go to his business on Friday and tell everybody there that you were his wife?
I don't want to talk about them.
Can we ask why you don't want to talk about some of these?
You have negative energy. I'm sorry.
What are you feeling right now when you hear those questions?
They're being negative to me, and I feel like everybody should just be nice.
Well, we are trying to understand where you're coming from. It's not negative, so that's why we want to try to understand.
On the dollar bill, it says, she prefers your undertaking, a new world order in Latin on the $1 bill. And the pyramid represents slavery, and the third eye is the imagination. So everybody is a Jew, essentially. That's what the imagination is. And the pyramid is how we were enslaved. So we've been enslaved by money, and we enslave each other. It's like a self-perpetuating cycle of enslaving each other and taking from each other and being selfish.
Jack, when you tell people that you want to bathe in their blood and you want to wear their body parts and you don't want to be a murderer, that's pretty scary stuff.
I don't want to talk about that.
It's pretty scary stuff. Would you admit that was scary stuff?
I don't want to talk about that.
Jackie, so love makes you do crazy things now. We've all heard that. Would it ever make you capable of killing someone?
No.
Do you think that some of these messages in your textbook or in your text is negative energy?
Oh yes, part of downloads of information.
Some of the things you said to him sound like negative energy. How do you respond to that?
I only want to be nice. I only want to be nice. I only want to talk about nice things. If I said something bad, I apologize, and I only want to be nice. I want everybody else to be nice. I want all of you to be nice. I want to be nice. Everybody in the jail should be nice. Nothing bad would ever happen to anybody if everybody's nice.
So in this journey of love that you were taking, I guess this was the last place that you imagined that you'd end up.
No. If Isaac wants me to go to jail, I should be in jail.
That's hard.
I appreciate it.
Why would you accept that then?
Because I love him and he should know better. He's the light, I'm the love. He knows what to do. I follow the rules.
If you were released today, would you leave him alone?
Yeah. If he asked me to, yes.
But he has asked you to.
Okay.
Were there
your journey gonna take you now then?
I could go back home and spread the message there.
Worried about something like this happening again?
No, I'm not worried.
What have the last 24 hours been like for you being in here?
Good. I like everything and everyone.
Was Isaac next to you? How did
No,
you feel?
he's the meanest person I've ever met.
Why do you like him if he's that
We're
mean?
soulmates. There's one boy and one girl. It's one boy thing, one girl thing. And it equals 3.3. Instead of having the number 0, we're only supposed to count to 3.3. 1, 2, 3.3. 3.3 is infinity. So if we counted from one boy thing to one girl thing, it would equal forever. Like the universe and all the planets.
Why do you say Isaac was mean?
Oh, because he was.
How?
I'm not going to tell everybody about that. I'm not him. I'm the love.
So do you believe that the number 33 led you to Isaac?
Yes,
How so?
I just told you. Okay.
Why did you go into his house and take a shower?
I don't like your energy. I'm sorry.
Can I ask the same question?
No, I don't want to talk about that either. You guys think that's weird, so why would I want to talk about things that you guys
No,
think
we're
are
just
weird?
trying to understand where you're coming from.
Oh, I follow him. Wherever he goes, I follow him.
When you guys were on dates, can you tell us what the dates were like?
I don't really want to talk about. No.
So, but you think he was the one?
Yeah.
Do you still believe that?
He's the one of all light. Now we know the story of light. If he doesn't want to be with me, he's not the one for me, but he's still the story of the light. Like the Holy Grail, I found that in him. Okay?
Have you ever found that with anyone else?
No.
Describe that feeling, that first date that you went with him. How did you feel?
Like, I found everything. And I feel like I did. It was just a journey. And now here you guys are.
Where was your first date? How did you, where'd you go? What'd you do?
We went to Shabbat at his parents' house, and that's what my parents do. My parents do Shabbat too.
Here in Arizona?
Yeah,
How long have you been here in Arizona now?
like 5 months.
Okay. Did you go to Sedona first, or did you just go straight?
Sedona.
So you've been in Arizona 5 months,
I think so.
but you've known him for over a year now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you,
I was traveling around, and I told him, I was in California, I wanted to stay in California. It was while we were still kind of talking, before, because I scared him. So while we were still talking, I told him if he ever blocked me on WhatsApp, that I would come and move here. So he blocked me, so I came here.
why would you not leave him alone if he blocked you?
I told him I would come here if he blocked me.
So you,
So he was testing me.
Do you feel like you were trying to force yourself on him?
Not really, no. I was in California. I was just texting him. And he was listening. No.
so your first date was in California?
No, here at his parents' house at Shabbat.
Okay, and when was that first date?
January 19th.
Of last year?
Yeah.
And then when was your second date?
The next 3 days.
Okay, and that was also here?
Yeah.
And that was last year as well?
Yeah.
And then the third date?
I said 3 days at his house.
So you stayed with him for 3 days?
Yeah.
What were those 3 days like for you? Just
He was being weird to me, and I let it be because I knew I should just let it be.
how weird?
Why you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Weird things about him? Why?
Because we want to understand you.
He put a GPS on my car, I think. He put something on my phone so I couldn't use it.
Why do you think he would do that to you?
Because he felt the same about me.
So he wanted to keep that connection, that
Yeah.
keep you.
He wasn't used to somebody that would just like stay there because they want to.
Did he ask you to leave?
When?
And when you were staying at his house?
No, we just had a 3-day date and he left and I left. He told me I could stay at his villa in Mexico, but I didn't want to because I knew he would film me on cameras and I didn't want to. So I thought maybe if I calmed him down over time, he would realize he doesn't have to stalk me.
When did he start to not want to talk to you anymore? Because he blocked you on WhatsApp, so you came to Arizona, and then I'm just trying to understand what happened after that.
I'm not sure. That's why I'm here.
Do you want answers from him? What are you hoping for?
I want him to do anything he feels like he should do.
So you're not angry with him?
No. Oh my God, no, I love him so much. I just want to love him so much, that's it. And if he doesn't like it, then I'll go home and I'll love my ex-boyfriend. What am I supposed to do?
Has he blocked you on anything else?
No, he lets me text him and he reads all of it.
Where's home for you?
Here.
You said you want to go
Desert
back
Ridge.
home.
Oh, I call home Miami just because that's where I came from.
Would you go back to Miami?
I would. If he told me to go to Miami, I would. If he doesn't, if he's not going to say, whatever he wants me to do.
Should he be afraid of you?
No.
Did he ever warn you that he was going to call the police if you didn't stop texting?
No.
Does any of this seem kind of weird at all to you?
No.
Because in a lot of people's eyes, they see this as weird.
That's because they're selfish. And they've never actually loved someone without getting anything back. The point of love is to keep giving it. That's the math equation. It's love equals 3.3, which is infinity, times E equals MC squared, which is light. Light is forever. L equals 3. L, if love was a number, it would be 3. So it's infinity times light, which is also infinity. So it's just forward, forever forward. And if you're selfish, you can't understand that because you want something in return. He's not giving me anything in return, and I still love him anyway. That's what love is. That's what the universe is supposed to be made of.
When's the last time you talked to him?
He sent me a text on a fake number before I went to his work.
How do you feel about the fact that he got you arrested?
I think it's a good idea. I think it was a good idea. If he thought it was a good idea, that means it's a good idea.
Do you think you're a danger?
No. I think he wanted to make sure I wasn't or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, you carried a knife with you.
When?
A police report states that you had a butcher knife.
What? I never had a butcher knife. I had like little flippy knives on my road trip. People try to hurt me. I'm a single girl. I drove across America. I don't carry a butcher knife. No.
How do you know he's the one that texted you on the fake number?
Just like I know he's the one that set you guys up here.
What did he say in that text message?
He said, Nolly, this is Carol. Are you coming to finish your prayer? And I was like, please don't tell me that this is you sending me fake text messages because you want me to come over so you could call the police on me again. But I did it. I went there because I knew it was him. He said he was looking for a doctor and a prayer, and I said nobody else would say that to me but him. So.
All right, guys. Go ahead and turn your cameras off.
Okay.
6 months after the interview, sometime in November-December of 2018, Jacqueline was offered a plea deal that included immediate release from jail with time served, 10 years of probation, and being barred from ever contacting Mr. Ben Shabbat. Jacqueline rejected the deal and explained that she didn't think it was genuine, that it was just a way for Mr. Ben Shabbat to test her resolve. She preferred to go to trial, where she was convinced a jury would find her not guilty and order her and Mr. Ben Shabbat to marry. In January 2019, following her decision to reject the plea deal, her attorney, Matthew Leathers, requested a hearing to evaluate her mental competency to ensure she understood the charges and the proceedings against her and to help in her own defense. In March of 2019, she was deemed mentally incompetent to stand trial. 2 of the 3 mental health professionals who assessed her found her mentally incompetent to stand trial, but restorable. 1 diagnosed her as being mentally competent. Jacqueline was placed into the Restoration to Competency program, overseen by an appointed forensic psychologist, with the goal being to restore her to competency so she is able to assist in her own defense. The psychologist would have up to 21 months to restore Jacqueline to competency or deem her not restorable, at which point her case would be dismissed. If she were deemed to be restored, the trial would resume. On Tuesday, March 8, 2020, Jacqueline Ades' charges were ultimately dismissed after she was deemed to be mentally incompetent and non-restorable. Her attorney stated, quote, "I feel that justice was served. Obviously, she's mentally ill, and I hope that she's able to get the necessary treatment," end quote. Jacqueline was transported from jail to the Valleywise Behavioral Health Center, where she stayed for a couple of weeks. She then relocated to Florida, where she has been receiving additional treatment.
Dear, I fear we're facing a problem. You love me no longer, I know, and maybe there is nothing that I can do to make you do. Mama tells me I shouldn't bother, that I